This episode of Casual Friday is brought to you by Netflix.
And then just cut to like the death screen, and I was like, did I just die and then hit my head on the steering wheel?
So one of the things that happened to me when I was reviewing the game is I had anxieties going into GTA 5 because
You have anxieties going into the...
You're right.
Yeah.
Super
going,
mad.
going into my own closet to just choose my pants to be just an absolute 15-minute affair.
We know how you are with pants.
Yeah, that's true. But you know, the driving in 4 had some issues, to say nothing of the motorcycles. And you know, the final mission of 4 was nearly impossible for me because of the motorcycle that happened at the end of it. But at the end of the day, I found the game eminently playable, and there was like never a moment where I'm like, oh this can't be done. So I was just happy that I didn't suck at it, and I'm just happy with myself.
GTA is one of those games that's popular enough that I don't think they would put a sequence in there that's really that difficult.
You'd
Well,
think
3,
so.
but 3 when you had to get the car back and you couldn't ding it once, and if you touched anything, it would explode. Oh, it was terrible.
So I was you know I hate forklift missions. I got to the forklift missions. I love how GTA 5 is the biggest GTA yet. And it has the biggest forklift mission where it's just a bigger forklift that lifts like cargo containers. And I'm like, this goddamn giant forklift. And then after that, you get in one of those giant cranes.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's an even bigger forklift. This is just a really huge forklift.
That's the legacy of Yu Suzuki and Shenmue, which somehow gave the impression that forklifts are fun.
But they didn't have a time limit, which made it so much better.
Yeah. So, I mean, you were mentioning that you don't like platformers, and I think I'm slowly learning this is because
hold on.
you're not good at them?
Hold on.
Defend yourself.
Hold on here. There's different types of platformers.
Okay, so what type?
You hate Rayman, though.
I hate platformers when they fall more in the category of rhythm and timing than, like, I guess, exploration and doing.
It's like a Banjo-Kazooie versus.
Yeah, like I
Super
love
Mario Brothers U.
Yeah.
I love Super Metroid. I mean, I guess that's it's kind of a genre of itself, but you know, originally that was that's
It was
a platform.
It was an action platform.
Exactly. Yeah, Donkey Kong Country. I'm into that, but like Super Meat Boy or
Bit Trip.
Yeah, that's a
Bit
runner
Trip
though.
is so good.
That's not a platformer though.
I would consider that like I would consider a runner in the platformer
Okay.
family.
Yeah, I don't know at what
genre.
point, as with like sort of Metroidvania, when runners became their own genre.
Well, basically, my problem is like if there's a matter of kind of I don't know, puzzle solving or kind of free movement in a certain sense, but when you're expected to go a specific certain route, it really does mess with me because I have no rhythm, and it's also why I don't dance or play instruments. So
But you like Mark the Ninja, right?
yeah, I was into that, but that's exactly the kind of platformer I do like because
Right.
it's a wide thing. There's a certain creativity that goes into it.
Yeah, and see that is a stealth game, which is the thing that I really, really suck at, and
I'm curious, why do stealth games get to you?
I think I'm just an extremely impatient person.
Yeah, okay.
And
I
I
completely get
just
you on
like,
that.
I know what I have to do, but I don't want to do it. I want to just go in guns blazing.
Metal Gear Solid, one of my favorite series. I hate stealth games, I think. I just have always been like, oh, like one of my favorite series is like a famous, it's the beginning of stealth games.
Yeah.
Therefore, I probably like stealth games, but in more recent years, I'm like, I really am not enjoying them. The one exception being Far Cry. And I think I figured out what it is. I like it when you can feel stealthy, but still be kind of an idiot. I like feeling smarter than the things in the game.
Which is,
Yeah.
But like Assassin's Creed, and I'm like...
Or like Deus Ex or something.
Yeah, like I climb on a roof and then 15 guys come and hit me with swords. I'm just like, done.
See, it's funny, in Assassin's Creed, when that happens, you get the sense from the game that you somehow screwed up and you failed.
Yeah.
Which is interesting, and, you know, and that's not really how they see it, but it is the stealth games where, yeah, you can keep on playing after you've been caught, but the entire deck is stacked against you. I mean, that's why Far Cry 3, it's like, okay, my stealth approach didn't work. I can easily shoot my way out of this.
Exactly.
situation.
Right. I like that a lot. And what sucks is that for a lot of games, they try to give you that option, but it also breaks it. Like, I mean, yeah, Metal Gear on certain difficulty, I guess on like easier difficulties, like Metal Gear Solid 3, that's a stealth game, but you can play it like Rambo if you feel like it, and it's not really that fun. I mean, you're kind of like, this is missing the point. Deus Ex, they try to pretend you could play it like an action game, but it was really hard.
Like practically impossible.
Yeah.
Well, no, but you can at least play it like Angel of Death. I still like Angel of Death stealth, where it's like, I'm going to have to be careful about my movement, but I'm going to kill everybody. So at least I don't think there's a guy behind me that's going to...
I like stealth games for dumb people, you know? I like a game where, like, I think Arkham City is great. It's wonderful because everybody in that game is dumber than me because I'm Batman. And I can hide up on a gargoyle, and I can hop for 3 other gargoyles, and they're like, what were we talking about again? Oh yeah, that's right, we're criminals. How about that crime, am I right? And then I choke one of them. It's like, it's...
Oh, I've always wondered in Batman, like, who owns the copyright on the gargoyle design in Gotham? Because he is so wealthy. I mean, they're like, we need more gargoyles in this room. Gargoyles, that's what's gonna tie this room together. A little bit more of those gargoyles.
Maybe if they spent less money on gargoyles and more money on, I don't know, everything else in the public service area.
A lot of the plumbing. A
little bit more cops. I don't know.
I'm sure there's something that you're
I love
terrible
it.
at.
There's like the city council of Gotham. I just imagine them being like, we got a lot of problems with crime. We could either fund the police force better or more gargoyles. let's have a vote.
We're gonna scare
Get
off
on the
those...
gargoyles, guys.
So, okay, yeah, my weakness is by far real-time strategy.
Really?
My brain does not work that way. I like turn-based, and it's almost like what you were saying that you don't like to have to do like a forklift thing on a timer, is if I have to focus and come up with a strategy, but I know there's someone over there that's slowly getting over here, I'll get impatient. I'm like, screw it, I'm just gonna go, oh no, that didn't work. But I think it's also having to focus on multiple things all at the same time.
That's what I'm good at.
See, I can imagine you have one of your science brains.
Nah.
And I'm like, I'm gonna keep on mining. I'm like, oh, you're right over there and you're attacking me. And it's also kind of like the stealth problem. That failure comes after a fair amount of investment of time and thinking I'm being smart with my strategy.
Yeah. I always liked real-time strategy. I mean, the last real-time strategy game I played was probably Warcraft 2 when I was like 12. But I mean, I like.
Oh, I think you're being generous on your age that time.
But I enjoyed the prospect of kind of building things. And I kind of just lapsed out of that when it got competitive, and I just cannot fathom the people who were like the Korean kids who were like, oh, it's several thousands actions per minute. Like, I'm a human computer, and I'm sending, and I'm like, why aren't you like an air traffic controller?
Those are people who have like a specific brain wiring that just makes them capable of doing stuff like that. I'll never understand it. The people who can do like a Tetris game, for instance, in like 20 seconds or something. I'm sure you've seen those YouTube videos.
I've seen them. I'm like, that person is smarter than I am.
Yeah.
Looking at, to my point about sucking at platformers, look at that guy, the guys who will just power through Mario. Like, that is one of those things that just completely unsettles me. Watching somebody do the warp, watching speed runs, and I'm like, but you forgot the coin. You didn't get that thing there, and they're just like, whoop, whoop, whoop. Watching that that guy plow through Demon Souls. I think it's like he doesn't like, I don't know, 4 hours, some obscenely short amount of time, and he's just running past skeletons, and he's like, whoop, and I'm like, no, but they're gonna still be there.
Those people are medical marvels.
That reminds you that there's far less game in Demon Souls and Dark Souls than you actually realize.
Yeah.
Because
I tried to play it that way, and I was like, wow, I'm really good. And then it was just like immediately like, nope, and I'm like, never mind. There's something you told me about that bothers you, which I think is hilarious. The pipette.
Oh yeah. So my whole issue where I can't do really precise dexterous moves, like trying to move like a mouse in a very small precise way, or especially if I'm using a stick. It's something that's plagued me since before I played games. And I would get my handles start to shake and I'll get really anxious. But it's so bad that in science class, when I was young, the teacher didn't want to teach. They're like, hey, look at this video from Nova. And they would show scientists putting those, really tiny eyedroppers into those tiny little circumference of the pipettes. I would have to turn my eyes away because the same anxious reaction would happen. And yeah, so there's a, it's not like there's a certain type of game that affects, but there's certain moments in mini games.
Mini games.
I walked in on you playing darts in GTA, and you were like, I can't do this. I gotta go home.
If there is one of those sniper missions that is not made to be easy on the, I think it was in Rage. There's a side mission that's a sniper mission. I was almost in tears because I was making myself endure something that I just cannot psychologically get through.
That's why I couldn't get through Hitman. Well, among other reasons, because stealth also.
There you go.
That is the epitome of things I suck at right there.
I mean, it's. I think if all three of our sucks kind of would band together, they could really effectively cover a lot of bases.
It's true.
Yeah. I mean, video games are hard. They do things to stop you from playing them. I kicked ass at Gone Home. Platinum that shit.
Hey, do you like Casual Friday and you'd like to do something to help out the show? Then why not check out Netflix? Netflix lets you stream your favorite movies and TV shows straight into your home, saving you time, money, and the hassle of dealing with a cable bill. All you need is an internet connection and a Netflix-enabled device like a computer, smartphone, or current-gen video game console. Best of all, you can get a free trial membership and support Rev 3 games by signing up at netflix.com/casual.